Yo, what up, biatches? It's Matthew here, back at it again with another board game review. Today is going to be an interesting one because today we're going to be looking at King of Tokyo. How many times have you said to yourself, I would like to destroy Tokyo and cause massive pain and suffering to millions and upon millions of people? How many times have you said that to yourself? I'm going to guess probably 0, maybe once. There's someone doing yard work outside my house right now. Not sure if you can hear it, but the show must go on, right? For that small percentage that wanted to rule Tokyo as a giant beast monster thing, then this game is for you. But also, if you don't ask yourself that, this game is also for you. This game is just fun. In King of Tokyo, each player plays a giant monster, a monster capable of taking over the city. However, all these monsters are against each other. It's more like a race to see who is the better monster out of everyone. The game is a dice game, which means if you have bad dice luck, like myself, then this game might not be for you. However, the game itself has a lot of fun conventions in play. Essentially, you're rolling dice, and in a similar fashion to how Yahtzee is played, Yahtzee, you will roll the dice a couple of times, allowing you to pull some dice back that you want to hold on to try and get the best value you can in the game. The objective of the game is to either get 20 victory points or be the last one standing. Each player starts with 10 health, which allow for 2 bonus health if they have the right item. The game is fairly simple to set up. This is the board, okay? It's upside down. This is the board for the game. And like that's it. Like I opened the box up and then I just saw this tiny little square and it was like, this is what you're going to be playing on. To set up the game, choose the monster that you want. It can be any. There's no, like, they all have the same attributes. And then everyone sits outside of the board. To determine how the game will actually take place, each player outside of Tokyo will take turns rolling the dice, and whoever rolls a paw print first, which is one of the dice values, then they will be sent to Tokyo automatically. Now, why is it called King of Tokyo? Well, the player in Tokyo City actually gets an opportunity to grind points while sitting in Tokyo City. However, with one major drawback, and that is he can't use the dice to heal. The dice values are interesting. Each dice has a certain value on it that will help you in your quest to Tokyo domination. So in a typical round, you would roll all 6 of the black dice. And in that initial roll, you can choose which dice to hold back before re-rolling the dice again. Or you can choose not to re-roll. You can just choose to keep the values that you rolled right there. But you're allowed 2 free re-rolls after the initial roll. So just like Yahtzee, you pull dice back that you don't want to re-roll, and then you keep re-rolling until you don't have any re-rolls left. Then you resolve whatever the dice say. The paw prints on the dice are all about damage dealing. So if you're outside of Tokyo City, then you're dealing damage to the person in Tokyo City. If you're in Tokyo City, then you're dealing damage to everyone outside of Tokyo City. Each paw print represents 1 damage. So if you rolled 6 paw prints, then you would be dealing 6 damage to the respective player. The heart containers grant you health, so 1 health per heart. And if you're in Tokyo City, you can't use those dice to heal. So you can't heal through normal means. The lightning bolt represents energy cubes. So 1 energy cube per lightning bolt. And these energy cubes will be used on the shop to get you items that will aid you in your quest. And then you have the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Now these represent victory point values. And they're granted to you in sets of 3. So if you rolled 3 ones, then you would collect 1 victory point when the dice resolve. Or if you roll 3 2s, then you would collect 2 victory points, roll 3 3s, and you collect 3 victory points. Once the dice phase is resolved, then you'll have an option of purchasing any items from the shop. There is always 3 items face up that you can take a look at, and you can decide do I want to spend my energy cubes on them? There are two types of cards. There's keep cards, which means if you purchase them, they'll take effect and you keep them on your monster for the duration of the game. If the card says discard, it means the effect will immediately take place as soon as you buy it, and then it will automatically be discarded. Any cards that are purchased will be replaced immediately by a new card from the deck. The deck is chock full of cards, and will take you many games to get through all of them. If you spend 2 energy points, you can actually sweep the entire shop and replace them with new cards. So if you're looking at the shop and you're going, I don't like any of the items in this shop, then you can pay 2 energy to redraw the shop again. And then your turn gets passed on to another player. So what about the King of Tokyo aspect? I mentioned a bit of being the King of Tokyo, but I'll give you some more description of it. Being the King of Tokyo is a huge bonus. Upon entering Tokyo, you'll receive 1 victory point. And upon continuing to stay in Tokyo, turn after turn, you'll receive 2 victory points per turn. That sounds like a great deal, huh? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's not as easy as it looks. Alright? A major drawback for being the current King of Tokyo is that you can't roll hearts to heal yourself. Hearts are useless to you. The only ways you can heal is through item cards. So you're probably thinking to yourself, "Oh, Matthew, that sounds kind of scary. I'm not sure if I want to do that too much, you know. I think I might get points in my own way, you know." Well, you're not allowed to leave Tokyo. Sorry, pal, you're the king of the hill now, biatch. No, but you're not allowed to leave Tokyo until you take damage. So the second a player attacks you on their turn, you can choose to actually leave Tokyo after taking that damage. And upon leaving Tokyo, then the player that attacked you will immediately replace it automatically. So there's always going to be someone in Tokyo at all times. Now, in a 2 to 4 player game, you're going to only use the 1 space for Tokyo, which means there's only going to be 1 person in Tokyo at all times. However, if you're playing 5 to 6 players, then there will always be 2 people reaping the benefits of Tokyo. Nothing much changes there, except now you have 2 people attacking everyone outside of Tokyo, and conversely, everyone outside of Tokyo attacking 2 people. So I guess it's fairly balanced in that sort of aspect. And that's basically it. That's the game. It's really simple, really easy to pick up, and it's actually quite fun, despite the fact that my dice luck is terrible. It's actually very addicting to play. I think the first time I played it was with my sister, and she destroyed me. Now, I mean, we got a couple of rules wrong, but she basically destroyed me. I think won every game in a row. So she now officially thinks this is her favorite game. Gee, I wonder why. But this game is actually quite fantastic. Now, this is an older version of the game. This isn't a revised edition. There is a revised edition that adds more character attributes to each type of monster. So they have their own powers and evolutions and stuff like that, which is something I might look into and do a re-review in the future. But for now, the only version they had in the store that I bought it was the first edition. So regardless of whether or not the second edition is just better or whatever, the first edition stands on its own fine, in my opinion. The idea of adding more rules and character attributes is not a bad idea. However, in terms of the simplicity of the base game itself, I would say the game itself, without a revision, holds up just fine. I don't think each character needs their own thing. Each player is basically on an even playing field, battling it out for supremacy in Tokyo. So, I mean, I think that concept works just fine. I would say, you know what? In terms of picking it up for your friends or family, this is definitely a game that you want to pick up for that type of people. It's not too hard to get started. It's just the right amount of complexity to get people into it. And I think dice games in general are just more accessible to a lot of people because they feel like they don't have to be reading cards all the time. That you can just roll and see what happens. And you know what? I respect that completely. I mean, it's definitely not something that I am amazing at, but it doesn't decrease the value of having dice games in general, despite the luck aspect of it. So, I think you guys should buy it. You guys should check it out. Check out the shit. Don't be in the club. So thank you so much for watching this other review. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to see more board game stuff, and hopefully more video game stuff too. Assuming that Vod Gaming is back out, but you know, who knows? I'm recording this in the past, so I have no idea yet. But yeah, we have a ton of more games to go through, and we keep getting more. So leave a suggestion for a game you want me to look at, because I'm also open to looking at things that I haven't already known about, and it's good to be immersed, and it's good to learn about new board game stuff. God, I'm so nerdy.